need to protect women from scumbags. There's too many of them out there, and they're doing harm to women. So we have to protect them from all these pathetic men going around pretending to be women so they can win events or be pervs. We have to protect them. So I'm going to show some examples of what's going on and how twisted our justice system is and our politicians are, who keep leaving women in vulnerable spots. Here's an example of women being upset about men in changing rooms and then getting them kicked out of the area. Now this is in Scotland, but it's happening in the States too, so I'm just going to show examples all over the place. This is disgusting and this is perverted behavior. We have to stop it. Here we go again. The women have to cower in their own locker room because some pathetic piece of garbage wants to pretend to be a woman, and we're trying to call them this stupid thing called transgender. No such thing as trans people. They are only people who are pretending to be the opposite sex, and we have to stop indulging in that delusion. Look at this story here. We have teachers who want to pretend to be the opposite sex, trying to get children to accept the delusion that you can change from male to female or female to male. You can't. So we got to protect the girls from this and the young boys from this. This has to end. So here James O'Keefe exposes how people pretend sexuals, they're not really, nobody is trans, how they hurt women in prison systems. So I have the link on there, of course, and check this out, read it if you like it. Just trying to protect women from scumbags. This one's a little different. It's about clinics doing stuff to kids. I just want to put this in here because these doctors are scumbags as well, and we should protect kids from scumbags as well as women. See, here's a prime example of what happens when you indulge the delusion that there's such thing as trans. This girl, was raped by a guy pretending to be a girl, and they should never be allowed in a woman's room at all. And in this case, the father was upset about it, and he should have been. So read this so we can stop this garbage. So we need to protect kids from the scumbags too. Say these people at the abortion clinics, which is just a way to destroy lives of minorities. That's how it was set up, at least originally by Margaret Sanger. And then these scumbag doctors trying to use these poor, confused kids, telling them a lie, feeding the delusion they can change from male to female when they can't. You just can't. These kids need to be taught to accept who they are and get comfortable with their bodies, because everybody's uncomfortable with their body at one time or another. So we got to stop kids from taking all these drugs and chemicals and surgeries before they're over the age, and before the age of 21. At least by then they at least have a little bit of common sense, so they won't be just stupid to fall for this garbage. At least they know they're pretending to be the opposite sex, not that they can actually become the opposite sex. This is in the States. A government is trying to remove parents' rights over their children. They're trying to say that they know more about your kids than you do, which is ridiculous and evil. So we got to make sure we stop these politicians from destroying our kids and protect them. So we have to keep protecting the children from scumbags and politicians who let the scumbags in. This tells you about that and what you can do about it if you choose to. Okay, this hasn't happened in the States just yet. Well, most of the states. It may happen in California. But we can't have police by force taking kids from parents to feed them the delusion they can change from male to female or female to male. That has to end before it gets started in this country overall. In California, it's late, but it can be reversed, hopefully. So look at these virtual signaling scumbags corrupting children just to make themselves feel like they're worth something when they're worth nothing. They're just walking pieces of human excrement. And so here we have a group of evil doctors mutilating children just for profit, because none of this stuff is necessary. No mutilations is needed because you can't change from male to female or female to male. It's delusion, and it shouldn't be encouraged. This is the kind of stupidity, virtual signaling that you get from Democrats. Letting men into women's shower room. Ask yourself, women, do you want a guy in there? I know 99.9% don't. Even if they would lie and say they would do, they're lying. No woman wants men in the shower room with them. Feels like this is our start to ending the evil of transgender garbage. In this incident, we allowed somebody who's been doing horrible things, who should have been put to death, to be around women because he's pretending to be a woman. We have to stop indulging that delusion. You can't become a woman because you say it. You either are a woman when you're born or you're not. Nothing else. Everything else is pretend. And these people are doing horrible things to real women, not people pretending to be women, because people are indulging that delusion, and we must stop that. So look at this piece of human excrement, this disgusting piece of garbage, because of some delusional judge, could end up being with women in prison. This is wrong. We can't keep that delusion going. We have to stop indulging that delusion. Just because you say it doesn't make it true. And that is not a woman. Now, this pathetic scumbag never should have been entertained as a hero or anything. This is a man who couldn't compete against the boys and decided to pretend to be a girl because he's so sick in the head that he has to win, even if he has to cheat. Pathetic. No accolades for people like him. So this is another story that I found of scumbags, harming children and women. It's not about women this time, but it is about children. We need to stop it at the root from harming children. It goes on to harm women with this kind of garbage. And schools should not have porn in them at all. As usual, I have links to the articles so you can read them yourself and see what I'm talking about and agree or disagree. And I also have links to merch, which supports all these events. So if you like it, click on it. And I'm going to show that now, just a couple of quick slides of merch that you might like. Thanks. Here's some merch for people bold enough to wear it. Protect girls and women from pathetic people. What the definition of a woman is, right here, very simple. This merch is putting reality over fantasy. More reality. If this was the rule, we get rid of all the creeps, and then we only have the mentally disturbed to deal with, and maybe get them some help before they do something really stupid. If you don't see any merch you like, but you do like the video, scan this QR code, and you can send a couple of bucks. If anything will help, and I appreciate it. Hope somebody likes this video. Have a good one.